Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another weekly market update. This week, it has been an interesting one. We had SPY have a pretty rough week last week, and now they are slowly starting to make a recovery this week, back up to about 6,800. But I think at the end of the day, investors are still sort of in a risk-off tone. A lot of your technology service and consumer tech stocks have fallen. And I think that's just because people are sort of starting to look at this sort of AI bubble rumor and take it with a grain of salt, especially with how many people have been sort of crying wolf about the situation. So it's interesting to see that and sort of see the money rotate out of those tech heavy stocks into something like, what did we have? An increase in retail trade, healthcare, producer manufacturing, consumer durables, utilities, things like that. And on the Bitcoin front, we saw Bitcoin drop down to about 80,000, and now we're back up to 90,100. So it's been a good recovery for Bitcoin. Do I think this is the lowest we'll ever see? I don't know, it's hard to tell. I DCA'd in 5% of my portfolio last week at about 86,000 with some spare cash I had. But again, I'm still sitting with about 22.44% cash. So I'm not in the mindset that, we're just going to have this V-shaped recovery and we're out of the woods. I definitely think there's more pain to come. But again, you got to buy when there's blood in the streets, and that's exactly what I did last week. So very interesting world to be in right now. You had the whole Japanese yen and US carry trade sort of start to blow up a little bit last week, where the interest rates between the Japanese yen and the US dollar became too close that it wasn't worth to borrow money in Japan and invest in the US markets. And so that's quite interesting as well. I'm curious to see what happens there. Japan's got a huge stimulus package they're pushing out. Again, I think that's what led to a bit of a rocky macro situation last week. But there's a lot going on in the world right now. I wake up and read Yahoo Finance every morning, and holy shit, it's just getting more and more hectic out there. So stay safe, guys. Definitely keep a bit of cash on hand, because if things get worse, it would be a good buying opportunity. We'll see you guys next week.